I now realize why Mom and Dad always told me the jungle was dangerous. My best friend Julian and I were hiking when we saw that shiny, moving magma of colors from the distance, and we're enchanted by it. It was like we were hypnotized by it. It should be here. We found the place easily, a pit half covered by bushes. Without thinking, I stepped in. As soon as I touched the ground, fear paralyzed me. It was a den of snakes, a colorful mass of deadly vipers.
And here I am.
No, Julian, wait! Too late. Julian landed next to me. They were all around us, horribly waving their tails. Don't move! Julian didn't listen to me. He tried to run, and one viper rapidly bit him in the leg. He screamed in pain. Julian! This wasn't my first safari. I spotted the shiny bolt flying at my neck and ducked just in time.
Ron, I don't think I feel well.
I got you, Julian. I grabbed my friend's arm and we sprinted through the only way out, a thick patch of bushes. Climbing back out wasn't an option with Julian like that, so we had to push through. I felt the snakes all over me, but after a few minutes, we were far enough and in one piece. Now, we just cut through the swamp and Julian lay cold on the ground, his face contorted in pain. His skin was pale and his pulse was slow. He had 2 dark red bites on his right hip. I tried to suck out the poison as Dad taught me, but the wound was dry. Oh my gosh, has the poison already been absorbed? There was no time. I hoisted Julian onto my shoulders and headed into the cold, dirty swamp. Insects swarmed us and stung me, but at least there were no snakes. I was exhausted, but I couldn't stop. My best friend's life depended on it. Finally, I reached the other side, only to face a cliff. A giant fallen tree trunk bridged the gap. I could see the camp on a hill on the other side. Julian, hey man, wake up. I can't do this by myself.
I can't, Ron. I feel cold.
Cold? I knew what that meant. I was desperate, and I started feeling dizzy too.
Ron.
Don't worry, Julian.
No, listen.
I ignored him. We had to move. I picked him up again and moved toward the fallen tree. My steps steady. I was halfway across when...
Ron! Stop!
What? Julian just pointed at my arm. I had 2 marks. Impossible! I have been bitten too? I stared at my wound in shock. Adrenaline kept me going, but my head began to spin. I tried to stay awake, but I staggered near the edge of the tree trunk. I was about to fall off the cliff, but then, no! I must! I don't know which spirit possessed me, but a sudden wave of energy and strange rage filled me. I started running again toward the end of the bridge. Julian screamed in fear, but I couldn't stop. In a matter of seconds, we were on the other side, but my energy completely faded and I lost consciousness. I woke up in the infirmary. My mom was tending to my wound. I immediately checked the other bed, but it was empty. Mom, where's Julian? Oh no, Julian! I started crying, but a slap on the back snapped me back to reality. It was Julian!
Who are you crying for, buddy? Miss me that much?
Mom, how did you find us?
I didn't. Julian brought you back.
I couldn't understand. I checked Julian, and he looked perfectly healthy.
The vipers weren't lethal. No poison. I just fainted from the pain. When I woke up, you were the one sleeping.
But I felt dizzy. My head. I had nausea and...
It was the mosquitoes in the swamp. They bit you and were poisonous, not the snakes.
I couldn't believe it. I got into mortal danger with killer mosquitoes, only to avoid harmless snakes. But it worked out in the end. Lesson learned. Did you know fear of snakes is called ophidiophobia? Me neither. I had plenty of time to learn since Mom made Julian and me spend the rest of the safari at camp studying them. So listen, if you see something colorful in the jungle, leave it alone.